Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Nama saya Nur Athira binti Muhammad Khairudin. Nombor matrik saya 057303. Saya daripada Diploma Teknologi Maklumat Multimedia.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Nama saya Nurul Alia Hazani binti Muhammad Nizan. Nombor matrik 057287. Saya pelajar daripada Diploma Teknologi Maklumat Multimedia.
Assalamualaikum, my name is Drabati Shalwani binti Muhammadin and my matric number is 057286 and I'm gonna present to you about introductions between Linux operating system and our Windows operating system.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Elia Rashka binti Rashid. My matric number is 057299 and I'm from DPMN.
Hi, Assalamualaikum. My name is Nufana Arisha binti Muhammad Ini and my matric number is 058055. And this time, I would like to explain about deadlock handling between Linux and Windows operating system.
As you can see in my screen right now, there's this introductions between Linux operating system and also Windows operating system. Okay, there is a difference between Windows and Linux operating system. Okay, first thing first, what is Windows and what is Linux? Okay, Windows is licensed operating system and its source code inaccessible. It is designed for business owners, other commercial users, and even individuals with no computer programming knowledge. It is simple and straightforward to use, while Linux is a free and open source operating system based on Unix standard which provide a programming interface as well as user interface compatibility. Okay, we back to the introductions of the Windows. Windows offer features like multiple operating environments, symmetric multiprocessing, client-server computing, integrated caching, virtual memory, portability, extensibility, and preemption link. While Linux is also contain many separately double elements and free from proprietary code. Okay, that is all from me about introduction between Linux operating system and Windows operating system.
Next is operating system structure, Linux and Windows. Linux is an open source operating system whereas Windows OS is commercial. Linux can access to source code and alter the code as per user need, whereas Windows does not have access to the source code. In Linux, the user has access to the source code of the kernel and alter the code according to his need. And like example, Linux can use terminal to write their own command or function to execute the process such as rm, mk, directory, copy, while Windows cannot create their own command. Contoh dia macam Linux ni, dia boleh create dia punya command menggunakan terminal untuk laksanakan proses tersebut. Contoh macam dia nak delete ke, dia nak remove file, dia boleh pergi kat terminal, dia tulis dia punya command dekat situ, so dia akan delete file tu. Tapi Windows tak boleh, sebab dia tak boleh nak access source code tu.
Next, scheduling process between Linux operating system and Windows operating system. Scheduling is the action of assigning resources to perform tasks. We will mainly focus on scheduling where our resource is a process or multiple processors and the task will be a thread or a process that needs to be executed. The act of scheduling is carried out by a process called scheduler. Both of the operating system is different and there are different scheduling algorithms. First, Windows operating system scheduling process. Windows operating system scheduling follow process of FCFS, stand for first come first serve, SJF, shortest job first, round robin, and the last one is SRTF, shortest remaining time first. Okay, let's take a look for each algorithm. The first one is first come first serve. SCFS is a non-preemptive algorithm where the job that arrive first at the ready queue will be allocated first to the CPU, and then the job came second, and so on. Okay, first come first serve algorithm is simple, easy to implement and understand. It is also a fair algorithm where priority is not involved. So the process that came first will be executed first. Okay. The next one is SJF, the shortest job first. SJF is also a non-preemptive algorithm. Okay, where in which process having the smallest execution time. Okay, will chosen first to be execute next. Okay, SJF will sort all of the process according to the arrival time, and then it will select the process which have a minimum arrival time and burst time. Okay, the next one is round robin. Round robin is a CPU scheduling process where each process is assigned a fixed time slot in a cyclic way. It's also a simple, easy to be implemented and a fair algorithm where all the process will get fair CPU to be shared. And the last one is SRTF. SRTF is the preemptive version of shortest job first algorithm. Okay, where each the process is allocated to the job closest to completion. Okay, SRTF makes processing the job faster than shortest job first algorithm. It's given overhead charge are not counted. The next one is Linux operating system scheduling. Linux operating system is a cooperative fair scheduling or completely fair scheduler, and it is also called as a classic preemptive scheduling. Okay, in CFS scheduling, it includes red-black tree where algorithm will set the time limit. So all the process will get the time slice, and then when the process of the time slice is finished, the algorithm will choose or pick the process of the least in the virtual runtime to be executed next. Okay, for example, assume that the algorithm picked a time 48 minutes per second, and we have 6 process in this case. So every process will get 8 minutes per second to execute in his turn. And then when the process of the time slice is finished, the algorithm will pick the process in the tree to be executed next. And the time slice can be changed according to the number of process. If the number of process is increased, then the time to execute will be slow.
Hi guys! As we know, we have 4 types of deadlock handling. The first is deadlock ignorance, the second is deadlock avoidance, the third is deadlock prevention, and the fourth is deadlock detection and recovery. Deadlock prevention happens only when mutual exclusion, hold and wait, no preemption, and circular wait pull simultaneously. While in deadlock avoidance, the operating system check is it the system in a safe place or in unsafe state at every step, which the operating system problem, and the process of continuous until the system is in safe state. We all know that Linux and Windows operating system are used the same deadlock handling, and they will focus on performance. The performance will decrease if we use the deadlock handling mechanism all the time. If deadlock happen 1 out of 100 times, then completely it was unnecessary to use the deadlock handling. And the operating system also assumed that deadlock handling never occurs because it was simply ignores the deadlock, and this approach the best suitable for the end user that just use the browser just for browsing and the normal stuff. I would like to explain why Linux and Windows operating system are used the deadlock ignorance for the best method, because these methods are eliminated for free. Rather than spending much on other prevention method, they have some inconvenient criticism on the process. Those who have to decide the convenience method to solve the deadlock.
file directory between Linux and Windows operating system. In Microsoft Windows, files are stored in directory or folders on different data drives like CDD, but in Linux, files are ordered in tree structures starting with the root directory, further branches cut to various other subdirectories. In Linux, everything is treated like a file. Directories are files, files are files, and externally connected devices such as printer, mouse, keyboard are also like files.